Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Limaland Motorsports Park for Night 4 of the All-Star Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Upstate Al, and proud to bring you all the action this season for the All-Star Racing Series presented by Autocraft Paint and Body Works. Tonight, the series is at one of Ohio's favorite dirt tracks, the Limaland Motorsports Park, and as it's known to the locals as the Northwest Ohio Quarter Mile of Thunder. Tonight, the Thunder is operating on Tuesdays. It's usually on Friday nights, and it is operated by the University of Northern Ohio. As we get ready to go with tonight's racing action, let's take a look at the info. Double set of heat races coming up your way, points on the line in those, and that'll help set up tonight's feature event as we get ready to roll with the feature event here at Limaland. Last week we were down at Volusia where we got our third different winner in the amount of weeks for the All-Star Racing Series, and it was James Braswell Jr. going for the victory lane for the first time this season, holding off the opening round winner Jacob Lassiter and Thomas Vickers, rounding out your top three 1 week ago down at the Volusia Speedway. So now we go from the very fast half mile to a very fast high bank quarter mile here in Limaland Motorsports Park. And let's take a look at the updated point standings presented by Autocraft Paint and Body Works. The All-Star Racing Series is here at Limaland, and James Braswell making a clean sweep last week, won both heat races and picked up the feature event win. John Darby is sitting second in points with Jacob Lassiter there in third. You can see where your favorite driver sits inside the top 18 in points. Coming into tonight's racing action, a lot of great racing action coming your way. We're going to have 3 or 4 rounds of heat races in the first round. Then we'll stack them up, shuffle them up, and deal them back out for round number 2. For that round, we'll then detect where we will start our feature event for the starting positions for your racers out there as we bring you all the action. Really looking forward to this one. Limaland, one of my favorite racetracks on the service, as we hope you are all strapped in and ready to go. Have your 5-point harnesses locked in, because this racing is going to be exciting here tonight at Limaland. As practice just winding down, you can see the track already taking a little bit of slick. I did hear that the water truck do have the keys in them here tonight, so we will have a little bit of track maintenance throughout the evening, I do believe, as we put on a great show for you out there. If it's your first time tuning on into the Turn 3 Racing Network, well, welcome. I want to welcome you out here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Hit that little subscribe button on the YouTube side, and if you're on the Facebook side, hit that follow button and like us on the Turn 3 Racing Network on Facebook for all your racing action. 7 days a week. We have it from these little bullring dirt tracks to the bullring asphalt tracks, all the way to the high banks of Daytona, and all the way to COTA and all the international road courses. We have all your racing needs here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we have a lot of people all the way over there. Maybe my notes are wrong. It looks like John Darby is listening out there. John, good luck here tonight. He says they're going to track carry over all night long. That'll be exciting if they do that. A lot of grooves can happen here, and these drivers are on open setups. You do see some other leagues on the Racing Network here, Turn 3 Racing Network, that run a fixed setup. So these drivers are fully customized. They can go in, tune on them all night long if they so see it, to try to make their car better for tonight's main event. So practice just about to wind up. We're at a little bit of a weather delay to get this one started, but we got it all out of the system, and this track is going to be super fast. I can tell you right now that in practice, it was Justin Holt picking up the Fast Time Award in practice. He ran a 12.26 lap. A driver that also tied him there was the 21 of Kyle Vandergriff, as we have 21 drivers in the server here tonight as we get ready to go with our first set of heat races, which will be brought to us by ABR Setups. And while we got a moment, let's take a moment here and look at the sponsors for the All-Star Racing Series. It is presented by Autocraft Paint and Body Works. ABR Setup Shop, JDM Designs, Sim Motion, Inside Racing TV, as Heat Race number 1 gets ready to get up onto the racetrack. Heat Race number 1 is brought to us by our friends at the ABR Setup Shop. ABR Setup Shop, full service setup shop, weekly official setups, custom individual setups, and individual coaching. For more information, it's abrsetupshop.com. As we come back live here now to the racing grid for Heat Race number 1, it is going to be on the pole. The car number 38 in the Hood Up Motorsports. This is Larry Townsend. Townsend on the front row. To his outside, his Hood Up Motorsports team member, Jeff Helton. Michael Kennedy going to start in the 98 in the third spot. Outside of his right elbow will be Keith Hackney. Hackney in car number 69. Tyler Carter in the Mid-South Mafia number 20 will roll off fifth. And right to outside of him will be the car number 158. That is Tyler Reed. Tyler Reed going to start in that sixth spot and shotgun on the field. In car number 26, this is Sage Luther. Sage Luther in the Peerless Racing entry. Rocket Racing setups on that automobile. Good to see Sage picking up some sponsorship. We saw him at Knoxville. Was unable to make the tow last week down to the Volusia Speedway as we get ready to go with our first heat race of the evening. Heat race number 1 coming at you, and it is presented by ABR Setup Shop. Green flag is out as they barrel down to turn number 1 for the first time here tonight. Townsend jumps out to your early race lead as the 98 of Kennedy works down low. A little bit of crossover move there to number 9. That is actually the number 69. There's the yellow flag coming on out. Everybody out of shape there. It looked like maybe the 69 of Hackney involved in that one. We say I'm all out of shape, and the race official is going to throw the yellow flag after one lap completed. Jeff Helton has gone to the pit area. So something happening to the number 6 of Helton. He'll come back out on the racetrack now. So this first round of heat races will be 8 laps in distance. Everybody racing for those heat race points. The field pacing behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck. We'll take a look here. In heat race in our heat races, 20 points will go to your heat race winner, and it goes down by 2. After that, pace truck down in the way. We're back underway. Townsend jumps on the gas pedal first, and he'll lead him down there. Turn number 1. Townsend working the outside. Here comes Hackney working the bottom of the racetrack. We're going to see 2 and 3 groups of racing all the way around this speedway as they work down the backstretch. Little contact there. Yellow flag coming on out is, it looks like the number, not sure there, missed it on the racetrack. What brought out our yellow flag number 2 here in heat race number 1. One driver that is moving up through the field is the driver of the 58. That is Tyler Reed. Sharp looking automobile there. Car number 58. How about the driver last week that probably got the Heartbreak Award? That was the number 20 of Tyler Carter. Ran up front most of the night in the feature. Well, it did not go his way. He is back here. He sits in that 5th spot as we come back to the restart zone. They'll come off a turn number 4. 2 laps are in, 6 to go. Down to the turn number 1, Townsend down to the inside. Here comes Hackney down to the inside of the 98 of Kennedy, ripping the lip on the outside. He's got the trunk full of Reed as they work off the turn number 4. 4 wide down to the turn number 1 and 2. They work down the back stretch. It'll be 3 wide in the turn number 3. Reed working in the middle of the racetrack. He'll move that 58 up to the outside now as we got a 5th for your race lead. Larry Townsend down to the inside as they work off a turn number 2. As now Townsend works the outside as Hackney is taking over the race lead. 4 wide once again. This track very wide on exit, but it closes up in a hurry. These drivers doing a great job, putting on a great show. Townsend's going to get turned sideways. That's 98 of Kennedy down to the infield. 2 laps to go. Now Sage will get in the backside of Townsend, and he will go around. No yellow flag out there now as they work down the back stretch. Yellow flag will now fly for the 38 of Larry Townsend, who got put to the spin cycle off of turn number 4. Let's take a look and see what happened to Larry. See him working there, 3 wide, just contact with a 58 of Reed there, incidental. That sent the 98 of Kennedy down to the inside. And it's the number 26 automobile of Luther, just nowhere to go for the checked up 38. Let's go back and watch this one more time. Let's look out the backside of the car. See, around he went. Luckily, nobody else got involved as he pulls away on the front stretch. New race leader, though, that's 69, working the bottom of the racetrack, the 69H. This is Keith Hackney. Single file restart. The field rolls through turns 3 and 4. Going to get back on the loud pedal. Hackney stabs the gas, and we are back underway. Reed in that number 2 spot. He'll go to the outside. Here comes the 6 of Jeff Helton. Helton working up through the field now. He's up to the 3rd spot. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row. A little bit of contact between himself and the 20th Garners. They battle on the final lap. Last trip down the back stretch. It'll be the 69H of Hackney. Can he make it 2 turns 3 and 4? He will. Heat race number 1 will go to Hackney. Reed will come home 2nd. Carter 3rd. Kennedy, Luther, Helton, and Townsend will round out your 7-car heat race. I believe we'll have 3 rounds of heat races here in our first set, and we'll have another 3 coming at you when we get into our last round of qualifying. So this is your starting lineup for heat race number 2. Starting up on the front row will be car number 38, the Hood Up Motorsports entry. They got some good draws here tonight. With the 815, this is Ryan Mowry. Matt George will start to his outside in car number 23. 1 win on the season for this driver, sitting in the number 3 spot here is the driver of the 51. This is Jacob Lassiter. And to his outside, the number 00. This is John Darby. Justin Holt in car number 311 roll off 6 to his inside. In the 5th spot will be the 427 of James Ferguson. And shotgun on the field. They rounded up on the podium 1 week ago. This is the number 1 of Thomas Vickers. That's your 7-car heat race field for heat race number 2. The JDM Designs heat race number 2 getting ready to go. Green flag is up and we are underway. Mowry going to jump on the gas pedal, but Lassiter quick to the inside. They're working the outside is George. 3 wide for your race lead down here in the turn number 3. Working about him is Lassiter. He'll come off the corner. He'll lead it by a bumper cap as they enter turn number 1. Everybody keeping it clean and green as they work down the back stretch. 815 of Mowry working the outside of the racetrack. They work down here, down the front stretch. Look at the left front, Gary on the 51 of Lassiter. He is really digging down low. They work down to turn number 3 and 4. Mallory working the outside of the racetrack, ripping the lip, and he'll have the lead with 5 laps to go in heat race number 2, presented by JDM Designs. In the market for a paint sheet, JDM Designs can hook you up as they make a lot of these race cars look great out on the racetrack right now. Working off a turn number 2 down the back stretch, it'll be the Maori automobile. 4 laps are in, 4 to remain. This time, it'll be 3 laps to go. Lassiter now working about outside of the racetrack. Matt George down to the inside. He's got company down there. The 427 of Ferguson trying to make it work down at the bottom of the racetrack. As Thomas Vickers going to rip the lip, and he'll come by with 2 laps to go. Vickers up to that 3rd spot now. George trying to fight back on the inside. They work down the back stretch. Darby holding out the 7th spot. Off a turn number 4. White flag is up for the final trip around the speedway for this Nut Safeway Auto Glass. Number 815 of Brian Mallory. Mallory going to come off turn number 4. He will pick up the heat race win. Lassiter a close second. 3rd will go to Vickers, George, Holt, Ferguson, and Darby will round out heat race number 3. And what a heat race that was. A lot of action. We saw him 3 wide there for a moment on the front stretch as we get ready to show you the starting lineup for heat race number 3. Heat race number 3 is going to look like this. Up on the front row, it'll be car number 21. This is Kyle Vandergrift to his outside. Last week's feature event winner of the Mid-South Mafia team. It's the 18 JR of James Braswell Jr. The 117 of Jeremy Prey will roll off in the 3rd spot in car number 117 to his outside. Hood Up Motorsports entry, the 669 of Nate Skinner. Brandon Marlowe will roll off in the 5th spot, and outside of him will be the number 46, Mr. Sean Kostritza. And shotgun on the field, the man that puts this on to organize all this league here. If you need to get in touch with him, get involved with the All-Star Racing Series, this is Blake Brown. Blake Brown in car number 28. 3rd and final heat race in round number 1. Who's it gonna go to? Team cars up on the front row, beautifully prepared automobiles, white and pink. Vandergraff from Braswell. Vandergraff going to jump on the gas pedal first, and we'll be racing down the turn number 1. Braswell going to go right to the outside of the racetrack, down the backstretch. They will come. Vandergraff trying to hold on to it, but Braswell really working the outside of the racetrack. And we've got a bid for your race lead off turn number 4. Track going through a lot of changes throughout the night here, so we're going to see them as they work down through the corner 3 and 4. We go from high above with the Autocraft paint and bodywork blimp cam to see the different lines. Vandergrift still holding the race lead, but here comes the 18 of Braswell. He had to check up to stay on of his teammate. Running 3rd is the number 117 of Jeremy Bray. Nate Skinner runs 4th. This is a great little battle back here. They work down to turn number 22, you can see the 28, that is Brown. Brown working the bottom of the racetrack. It'll work in the middle of it. Trying to make his way inside the top 4 as that's the battle for 4th with 4 laps to go. That time Skinner going to get loose up on the outside of the racetrack. Brown down on the inside, trying to get the white here. A little bit of contact here. That's going to cross up Skinner. Now allows Marlowe to come into the play. Meanwhile, up on the front of this one, it is number 18 of Braswell. He has gotten around his teammate of Vandergrift. So Braswell trying to add 20 points to his point total as he came in as your points leader in the round number 4 here for the All-Star Racing Series. Last lap in the FEGPC. Heat race number 3, Braswell down the backstretch comfortably, a little bit in the contact of the outside wall. On the outside, Braswell going to pick up the win. Vandergrift 2nd, Bray 3rd. Brown is going to cross the line in the 4th spot in a close battle with Marlowe, Skinner, and Kostritza. Going to round out your race order here in heat race number 3, and then we'll be moving in to heat race number 4 just momentarily. Here's the field. We'll start to get stacked up on the front stretch. I agree with you there, Ben. Those cars looking very sharp here tonight. You can't miss them from a mile away, that white and the fluorescent pink chrome there. Starting up on the front row of heat race number 4. This is going to be Keith Hackney, the driver out of Georgia, in car number 69. To his outside will be car number 58. It is Tyler Reed. Tyler Carter in car number 20, slated to go in the 3rd spot. Outside of him, it will be the car number 98, all the way from Texas. This is Michael Kennedy. Sage Luther in the Rocket Race Setups. Car number 26 will roll off 5th. Outside of him, the Hood Up Motorsports driver, the number 6. This is Jeff Helton. And Larry Townsend will start shotgun on the field. We'll see what Larry can do. Very quick driver out there on the racetrack. We'll see if he can work his way up here on a track that seems to be really widening out around the speedway. Want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight for the All-Star Racing Series here at the Limaland Speedway. Jam-packed. They shoehorned them in here to the stands. So hopefully you're watching and enjoying yourself down here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we bring you all tonight's action. So heat race number 4 being brought to you by ABR Setup Shops. 12 laps in distance. Green flag is out. Hackney going to jump on the loud pedal. He's got the reach to the outside. Go slam the door shut on that advance down in the turn number 1. Everybody working down low as they work there 2 by 2. And back there for the 3rd spot. Tyler Carter going to wash up the racetrack in front of the 6 of Help. And now Sage Luther working the bottom of the racetrack. He is the only car working down there. And I kind of like it. Kind of got to go where the other cars aren't. Carter in the outside wall, and meanwhile, 5th for your number 2 spot. Kennedy working the outside of the racetrack as they work through turns 1 and 2. 10 laps to go as they work down the back stretch. A little bit of contact with the outside wall. Didn't really upset the 98 too much as they work off turn number 4. Give Kennedy the spot. His yellow flag will come out. Let's see if it negates that. Yellow flag coming out. In heat race number 4, presented by the ABR Setup Shops. Take a look and see what brought out our yellow flag here. You see him working there off the corner. Watching the 38 of Larry Townsend at the back of the field. And not sure what the yellow was for. Maybe a little bit of debris. Anyways, we'll get back up to the front of this one. And this is going to be a barn burner. We saw Reed in that number 58 have speed in his heat race in the first round. Pace truck down on the way. We're going to back to green flag action with 9 laps remaining. Hackney going to work back to the outside. Got a good launch down in the turn number 1. He's got Reed though. Reed not laying off of them. They both get the outside fence. A little bit of contact there through turns 3 and 4. Hackney really working the outside. It's going to be hard up there. That cushion is right up against the outside wall. And if you don't get it right, it'll jump out to grab you. Now Kennedy falling, looking to go here. Looks like the number 38 of Larry Townsend has gone around. Working the outside of Jeff Helton here. We look at the replay. They come off the corner down in the turn 1 and 2. Oh, a little bit of contact and right to the outside wall. And we have a turtle situation in turn number 2. Larry had to take and call the Autocraft Paint and Body Works crew to get the quick tow to pit road, see if they can get that car fixed up down there on the pit road. So tough break for the driver, the number 38 of Larry Townsend. Not been his night. Had a great draw in heat race number 1. Started on the pole, had a little bit of trouble there, fell back. And his night woes still continue here at Limaland. Everybody getting tuned up here as they work down to the turn number 3 and 4. We're going to go back green flag racing. Hackney going to jump back on the gas pedal. Then the number 58 of Reed was ready to go. We've got him 3 wide behind them. They work through turn 22 and down the back stretch. Look at Sains Luther working the outside of the racetrack. He'll make it into the 3rd position at number 26. He's up 2 positions from the 5th starting spot. Luther really working the outside of the racetrack. The 98 of Kennedy working there as well. He's fallen back to the number 3 spot. 4th spot is Tyler Carter. Rounding out your running order is the number 6 of Helton. They'll make contact down the backstretch. Helton sits sideways on the backstretch. We'll see if we stay green. So far we do. Hackney still leads it. Reed in the number 2 spot. This time behind the Rabbiteers will be up. It'll be 2 laps to go for your race leaders. Reed now putting the pressure to the backside of the 69 of Hackney off of turn number. Down to the inside. Slide job coming. Can he make it clear? He cannot. They'll check it up there. White flag is out. Final lap in the 8-car Southern Shop Heat Race number 4. Hackney down the back stretch. We watch down to the inside. He will run to the inside line off turn 1. He will pick up your heat race win. Reed will come across second. Luther, Kennedy, Carter, and Helton will round out your top 6. Larry Townsend will end up in that 7th and final spot here in heat race number 4. Now we will head to heat race number 5 now. 12 laps will be the distance, and this is your starting lineup. For heat race number 5, starting on the pole will be car number 38, or 815. That is the Hood Up Motorsports entry of Ryan Mowry. Outside of him will be car number 51, the driver out of Tennessee. This is Jacob Lassiter. Thomas Vickers will start in that 3rd spot. Outside of him will be the number 23 of Matt George. George will roll off 4th. 5th starting spot will go to the winner from 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me. To pick the winner at the Knoxville Raceway, the number 311 of Justin Holt. Outside of him will be the 427. This is James Ferguson. In shotgun on the field in the 00, this is John Darby. John Darby, car number 00. Sharp looking automobile as we get ready to go with our 5th heat race presented by FEGPC. Pace truck will be down and away down here in the turn 3 and 4. Get to the safe haven off of the racetrack. Green flag is up. Mowry jumps on the gas pedal. A little bit of contact with Lassiter. That allows Vickers to the inside. They'll work the bottom of the racetrack. Lassiter working to the outside of the racetrack. Down the backstretch to the turn number 3 for the first time. Off of turn number 4. Lassiter with the momentum. Give the race lead to Jacob Lassiter. Lassiter really working the outside of the speedway. 2 grooves starting to shape up here. Thomas Vickers working the outside, but here comes the 311 of Justin Holt. He's working it down low in that 311. Holt working there. Oh, up on the tires there. Gets the car a little rocking. He'll keep it pointing in the right direction. Everybody else working the outside of the racetrack, but Holt really finding his way into DTJ number 311 down on the bottom. Lassiter up on the front of this window. He's opened up a 1.6 second gap as he is picture perfect so far. Look, there's now Thomas Vickers gotten around Mowry. Mowry under attack from the 311 of Holt. Holt really working down on the bottom of the racetrack as Mowry rips the outside. Justin Holt not giving up here. A little bit of moisture down there. You see him really digging for it. Work in the middle of the racetrack. That's the number 00 of Darby. Darby really working there as well with 5 laps to go. Down to 311, we'll go to the outside. A little bit of contact between Holt and Darby as they work down the back stretch. The 815 of Mowry a little bit out of shape. That'll let the 331 of Holt down to the inside. Slide job up across the speedway up off turn number 2. Crossover by Mowry. Mowry has stabbed the brakes. can't breaks his momentum. That allows Darby to the outside. John Darby had a miserable heat race number 2. Now he'll look to recapitalize that in heat race number 5 as he runs in that 4th spot. Lassiter up front, he'll get the 2 laps to go sign by flagman Barney as he works off in turn number 2. Look at that car, dead perfect on the outside of the racetrack. Rocking through the bumps, he'll come out the corner, white flag, he's out as they work down here to turn number 1. Lassiter trying to pick up the heat race win to grab 30 points, add to his total overall. Off turn number 4, it'll be the 51 of Lassiter picking up the win. Vickers will cross the line in 2nd. Holt in 3rd. Darby will cross the line in 4th. 5th of Lowry. George and Ferguson will round out heat race number 5. Our 6th and final heat race of the evening down on the racetrack, and this is what the starting lineup will look like for tonight's heat race number 6, the final qualification event of the evening. Starting on the front row in the Midwest Mafia, number 18, JR. This is James Braswell. Kyle Vandergriff will roll off in the number 2 spot in car number 21 in the inside of row number 2, we'll go to the 117. Jeremy Bray. Blake Brown will roll off in that 4th spot in car number 28. 5th spot will go to the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. To his outside, the 669 of Nate Skinner. And shotgun on the field, car number 46. This is Sean Kostritza. 7 cars getting ready to go to do battle for the final heat race of the evening. This one being brought to you by Sim Motion. Green flag is up. Braswell will jump to the outside of the corner. Here comes the number 117 down to the inside. They work down the backstretch for the very first time. Good battle for your number 2 spot. Braswell going to try to sweep both heat races once again tonight as now Vandergriff holds on to that number 2 spot is the number 37 of Marlowe. He's trying to get by the 28 of Blake Brown. Brown working the middle of the racetrack up to the outside. 1 car sideways to the back until that was 69 of Skinner. So far we stay clean and green in heat race number 6 presented by Sim Motion. Great battle here for the number 4 spot. Marlowe working down on the inside of the racetrack. Another number 28 of Blake Brown. A beautifully prepared automobile. Now he tries to cross it over, get down to the inside where that moisture is. You're going to try to find the grip where it is right now. Blake Brown doing a good job. Meanwhile, up at the front of this one, Braswell still shows the way as he's got Vandergriff, but Vandergriff starting to feel the apprentice. Jeremy Bray on the outside wall. So his advantage. They work down the backstretch, single file all the way around the racetrack right now. Blake Brown holds on to the 4th. 5th is the number 37 of Marlowe. 6th spot belongs to Sean Kostritz, and rounding out your field is the 669 of Nate Skinner. Race leaders working off the corner. It'll be 5 laps to go, 1 lap past the halfway point in heat race number 6, presented by Sim Motion. Field working around the racetrack. Everybody migrating to the outside of the speedway. I think it's going to be Slide Job City come feature time. Tell Grandma and Grandpa to put their teeth in their pocketbook. Vandergriff going to hold on to your number 2 spot with 3 laps to go. Everybody kind of just mellowed out as we go high above with the Autocraft Paint and Bodyworks Limp King. The race leader off turn number 4 day will come. It'll be the number 20, 18 of Braswell getting the 2 laps to go sign. He has put a lap around the 669 of Skinner's. He worked down the backstretch. Braswell picking up where he left off last week at Volusia. So this was one of his favorite racetracks on the sim. And boy, they could be in trouble here tonight if this car is hooked up like it is. Off of turn number 4 for the final time. Braswell is going to coast to victory lane. Vandergriff will come home second. Third will go to Prey. Marlowe's going to get Brown at the line. Brown will come home in the 5th spot. Trishtza and Skinner will round out your running order. And just like that, qualifying is done. Track crew has gone out and did some work to it. And that means it is almost feature time here tonight, as that is the end of qualifying here tonight for the All-Star Racing Series. You're watching here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and it is brought to you by Autocraft Paint and Body Works. Full-service auto collision shop located in Brooklyn, Arkansas. Look for more information if you are in the need for some body work to your vehicle. It is AutoCraftNEA.com. ABR Setup Shop, your full-service setup shop for weekly official setups, custom individual setups, and individual coaching by the world champion Alex Bergeron and crew. ABRSetupShop.com. JDM Designs. You need to look good out on the racetrack just like these race cars do. Well, you gotta look up JDM Designs for all your painting needs here tonight. Also, thanks to FEG Support Entertainment Group, also known as FEGPC, specializes in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines with over 4,500 PCs and counting built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. You can be assured that a PC that is maximized to your specific sim. Sim Motion, your one-stop shop for sim rigs, chassis, pedals, wheels, anything to do with sim racing. You gotta think Sim Motion. Check them out online at us.sim-motion.com. And the folks at the Inside Sim Racing TV, we gotta thank them for sponsors here for All-Star Sim Racing Series. Well, these drivers are going to work to do some hot laps, and while they do that, we'll be right back. You are watching the All-Star Sim Racing Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to the Limaland Motorsports Park. I am Mike, your host, Upstate Al, up in the booth here for the Turn 3 Racing Network. As the checkered flag waves on practice here on a very fresh track. The track going to come out very good here as the wind starting to pick up. You see the trees swaying in the background, and that means it is feature time here tonight for the All-Star Racing Series as they get ready to go with tonight's feature event. If you got a favorite out there, I think it's time to pick it. Who you got out there? I see a lot of Kyle Vandergriff fans out there. We got a couple Tyler Carter fans out there as well. Who's it going to be there, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to go with tonight's feature event. And this is how it's going to look. It's going to be the car number 69, the Keith Hackney up on the front row. He is your pole sitter for tonight's feature event. Jacob Lassiter will race on the outside in spot number 2. He'll start in that number 51. James Braswell swept his heat races. He'll start 3rd. Can he maybe go be our first repeat winner of the 2021 season? Tyler Reed in car number 58 will roll off 4th. In the 5th spot will be the number 5 of Thomas Vickers. Kyle Vandergriff out there in car number 21. He'll roll off in that 6th spot. Sage Luther in 7th. Justin Holt in spot number 8. Ninth starting spot will go to the 117 of Jeremy Bray, and Michael Kennedy in row number 5 will roll off 10th. John Darby will roll off 11th, and Brandon Marlowe in that 12th position. Tyler Carter will roll off as car number 20, and the 13th spot outside of him will be the number 815. This is Ryan Mowry. Blake Brown and Jeff Helton will make up row number 8. Row number 9 is going to go to Matt George, Sean Kostritza, Larry Townsend, James Ferguson, and Nate Skinner. Shotgun on the field. 21 cars strong as Tyler Reed in the 58 did not make the call. So we will start the race with 20 cars out on the racetrack. Feature event time. Green flag is up and we are underway. 50 laps of the distance. It'll be Hackney down to the inside. It'll be Lassiter working the outside. Yellow flag coming out on the opening lap there. Yellow flag, it looks like maybe coming out for the number 58 of Reed coming out of pit road. Let's take a look back here and see what yellow is for. Matt George having a little bit of an issue back here. Let's take another look here. See if we can find out what happened. Everybody checking up. George gets turned sideways and Barney throws the yellow flag out. So we come back to live pictures here as the field pace is behind the pace truck. Hackney is your race leader. It'll be the 51 of Lassiter will start to the outside. It'll be Braswell. Green flag, get ready to come back out. 58 to Reed out on spot number 4. Green flag, no. Yellow staying out. No green flag there. Everybody getting back into their positions. Well, we got a moment. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in on the Facebook side and over on our YouTube side. Now the pace truck is down and away. We're going to go back. Green flag racing. Hackney going to jump on the gas pedal to cross the stripe. Down here in the turn number 1 and 2. Hackney works the bottom. Lassiter works the outside. He'll make contact with 18 of Braswell. Braswell works the middle of the racetrack. One car up on the outside, and that will be Lassiter. Time to score and getting all shaved up here once we get that back out there. You tell you, Hackney is your race leader. Now the yellow flag gonna fly. As we got a parking lot, looks like the 37 of Mowry slow off of turn number 2. Let's take a look here and see what happened to bring out our yellow flag. See Hackney. Let's go on board. Slow 19 Kennedy and the 37 of Mowry down here. Thomas Vickers also involved. Take another look at it. See Vickers very tight off the corner in the middle of the racetrack. They'll make contact with Vandergriff. Oh, Kennedy and then Mowry. That's Darby. 3-car incident down there. And around will go Mowry. Vickers up on his lid. He'll have to get the quick toe down into victory, down into the infield. Get back out in this one as we come back to a live picture. I can tell you right now, the 69.8 of Hackney is your race leader. Lassiter runs in spot number 2. That's how they started. So race control giving the message out there to the guys to clean it up a little bit, get some laps in. This track very racy right now, multiple grooves. It'll change. We saw it in the heat race how burnt up it got. So we look for this restart off of turn 4. We got some discussion for position back here. We're not going to go green flag racing. Now everybody gets back into their proper restarting position. Vicker's going to be able to roll back out onto the racetrack, tag along at the back of the field. So that'll leave us with our 20 cars on the racetrack. Nate Skinner down on pit road. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Come off the corner, it'll be the number 69 of Hackney showing the way here as they work through turns 1 and 2. Vandergriff working the outside of the racetrack, a little bit of movement back here. 3 wide, they got him stacked up. Sage Luther engages through the middle of the racetrack, 3 wide. 1 car sideways, that's Frey. Gonna stack them up off the corner, and Frey upside down. Tyler Reed also upside down involved. Yellow flag number 3 coming out here on lap number 6. Kennedy in the 98 getting pointed back in the right direction in this one. A little bit of a slow start to get going here. Let's take a look and see what happens to bring out this yellow flag. We saw him get out of shape off of turn number 4 at the bottom of our screen. Go back to see Sage Luther working the middle of the racetrack underneath Reed. Reed working the outside of the racetrack. Oh, looks like Frey loses it in front, and that'll send the 21 of Vandergriff, and that beautifully prepared Braswell Trucking number 21 has seen better days. You might be able to get the door panel off that automobile pretty cheap after the races. Let's see, let's go on board. Looks like Frey just got loose and up across the track in front and around he will go. So the field double and back up behind there. Keith Hackney is your race leader as they roll underneath the stripe. Hackney, Lassiter, Braswell, and now Justin Holt on the outside of row number 2. Lassiter and Carter in row number 3. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Lassiter working the outside of the racetrack. They work off the turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Yellow flag going to come back out as the 46 of Kostritza has gone around. He was starting on the outside of the 420. So let's see what happened. He just got loose. Vickers working the middle of the racetrack. Down here in the turn number 1 they go. Oh, Helton was turned sideways. Him and Blake Brown some contact, and Kostritza just nowhere to go. See the contact there. Helton was turned sideways. They will be able to pull away. So we are slowed here once again at the Limaland Speedway. Track usually races on Friday nights. It's ran by the University of Northern Ohio. They open the doors here tonight as the green flag is up. We're back underway. Everybody piling down here. is Luther working the middle of the racetrack through here. Townsend, more contact, and around will go the 427 of Ferguson. And we are under the yellow flag here for the 5th time, so trouble getting this one going on the short quarter mile. It is known as the Limaland Motorsports Park. Still doubling back up. We're going to go back green flag racing. Quick yellow flags here tonight. The field rolls down the back stretch. They'll be rolling through 3 and 4. Hackney going to jump on the gas pedal. Lassiter was ready for it. Green flag is back out. They abandon out through the corner. Blake Brown back there. Marlowe to the inside. 2 and 3 wide. The corner. Vickers trying to make his way back towards the front. Larry Townsend, how about that driver out there, folks? Up 12 positions since the green flag is dropped. We've got him 4 wide up in front of him. Braswell working underneath number 51, Lassiter. Braswell working the middle right track. Lassiter up on the outside. Gives spot number 2 to Braswell. Here comes Justin Holt. Holt down to the inside. Can he make the move on Braswell off turn number 4? Everybody settling themselves out. Track starting to change out a little bit as now Braswell works the outside. Keith Hackney up on the front of this one, 1.4 seconds in front of number 2, the second spot. As everybody watches the battle a little bit deeper here in the field. Everybody working down to the inside. Darby down low underneath the 20 of the Brown. They'll rub door panels on the backstretch. Everybody doing a great job here off the turn number 4. Full contact racing. I hope you're strapped in with your 5-point harnesses out there, ladies and gentlemen, as this one is going to get rough. Late Luther working underneath the 51 Lassiter. So your outside pole sitter going backwards right now as Lassiter has fallen back to the 7th position. Now he'll cross it up underneath the number 26 of Luther as Carter trying to apply pressure to the number 31 of Holt. Holt on the inside now as they work yellow flag coming out here as it looks like the number 427 of James Ferguson has gone around. Truck says they have it queued up. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 427 of Ferguson. Matt George works to the inside of the racetrack underneath them. Down the backstretch they go. Jeff Holt in front of them. Oh, Holt and Brown make contact once again and Helton down across the racetrack. Gets to the right front of the 427 of Ferguson. And that'll bring out the yellow flag. Come back live. Pictures here now. Lassiter, we talked about him starting to go in the wrong direction. I don't believe he'll stay there. As now the field rolls there. Keith Hackney up on the front of this one. Green flag is getting ready to come back out. They'll step on the gas pedal down the front stretch. Holt ready to go. He'll move into that number 2 spot. Holt going to challenge for your racing contact. Behind him is Larry Townsend in the 20, and Carter makes some contact. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction so far. Everybody 3 and 4 wide back here, deep in the field. 3 wide down to the turn number 1. There's a 0-0 Darby down low. Vickers and Carter making some contact. Get checked up the 815 of Marlowe. Or Mowry, excuse me. They're still 3 wide. Sage Luther working there. Now they're going to go 4 wide off turn number 2. Can they make a stick? Helton will jump out of the gas pedal to keep it for another day. He's still sideways. All great action all the way around the racetrack as they're still 2 and 3 wide. Everybody doing a great job. They work down the back stretch. It is Lassiter moving into the 7th position, but everybody's chasing the 69 of Hackney. Braswell works the bottom of the racetrack, and he holds off the 31 to hold. Holt rips the lip down in the turn number 3. Track's going to go through that transition period and go through into heat race action. Braswell thinking the bottom line is the place to be at the moment as he's holding off Holt for the moment. Townsend, how about this driver? Larry Townsend up to the 4th spot, started back in spot number 19. He is the hard charger of the race of 15 positions since the green flag has dropped. Everybody doing a good job here. Unfortunately, we lost 3 drivers. Nate Skinner, Jeremy Gray, and Tyler Reed all out behind the wall or behind their trailers here to this one. Everybody doing a job. Next time, Violet cross flag will be 25 laps remaining for your driver, the 69 of Hackney. Hackney doing a great job here. Going down here. The driver out of Calhoun, Georgia. Leads your halfway point in the 50 lap affair. James Braswell runs in spot number 2. Holt runs in 3rd. 4th is Larry Townsend. Townsend is under fire though for the 21 of Vandergrift. Vandergrift was in trouble earlier on. Now he works the bottom of the racetrack, challenging for spot number 4. 6th spot belongs to the 51 of Lassiter. He's working the outside of the racetrack as he closes in on the 21 of Vandergrift. Vickers runs 7th. 8th spot is Darby, Brandon Marlowe, and Tyler Carter rounding out your top 10. 11th spot is the number 427 of Ferguson. He works the outside around the 26th of Luther. Kennedy runs back there in spot 13th. Jeff Helton and Blake Brown doing battle here in 14th and 15th. Those 2 drivers are stuck together like Velcro all race long. Jeff Helton there, Brian Mallory, Matt George, and Sean Kastritza round out your field as the race leaders are working around the 46th of Kastritza. Braswell works the bottom of the racetrack. He'll dispose of the 46 as he looks to chase down Hackney. As we go on give up some time. That time by Braswell picked up almost a half a second out of his lap traffic, hampering your race leader. Off of turn number 4, Hackney works the outside 1.6 seconds back to this man, the number 18 of Braswell, who works the bottom of the racetrack. The driver out of Marion, Arkansas, really catfishing it here tonight at the Limaland Speedway and making it work. Justin Holt runs back here in your 3rd spot. Now Lassiter starting to make a charge with 16 laps to go. He'll work to the outside of the 38 of Townsend. Yellow flag coming out. The 37 of Brandon Marlowe in trouble in turn number 2. And that'll make clean track for your race leader. More contact and they get into your race leader. Slight contact into your race leader of Hackney. Underneath the yellow flag with 15 laps to go. Let's take a look and see what happened to the number 37 of Marlowe. Marlowe working in the middle of the racetrack. He's got the 00. Darby right there behind him. Down in the corner. And just slight contact. They were both going for the same real estate. Tyler Carter going to get a piece of that. And the 37 of Marlowe locks it down to make sure that no one else gets collected. Let's watch it one more time. Let's go on the autograph main bodywork scoreboard again. See a double zero Darby It's in the corner. Boom! There's the contact, and around he will go. And everybody will make it by. They come back to the live pictures of the 37 of Marlowe. 15 laps Saturday night shootout. Who you guys got out there? Do you think Keith Hackney can hold on to be our 4th different winner of the season? Well, we're about to find out. Green flag is up, 15 laps to go. They cross the stripe. Braswell and Holt going to run side to side, door to door. They work down to the end off of turn number 2. Braswell works to the middle of the racetrack as Holt down low. Here comes Lassiter down to the inside. And Vickers out of nowhere is up inside the top 10. Braswell going to hold on to your number 2 spot. Now yellow flag going to come out again. Yellow flag number 8 here. The pay window starting to get greased up, and this yellow flag is going to involve the number 98 of Michael Kennedy. He is down on pit road. Let's take a look and see what happened. This one looked like it had multiple cars involved. See him coming down the backstretch. Down in the corner. Oh, looks like the 98 of Kennedy gets in the back of Ferguson. Ferguson goes around. Kennedy and Helton also involved. Let's go get the bottom of the inside number to have more camera. Around he will go. And yellow flag coming out. Field getting double backed up here. It'll be Holt. He had made a charge to the inside there. They were 3 wide for your race lead. Hackney and Braswell up on the front row. Hackney going to jump on the gas pedal. He'll get the lead down here in turn number 1. Side by side, a little bit of contact between Holt and Braswell. Braswell's going to fall back to your number 3 spot. Here comes Lassiter. Crossover move down in the turn number 3. They go. It'll be the 18 of Braswell. 2 cars sideways. That's the... I believe that was Townsend involved. Everybody keeping it green so far, and now the yellow flag will get thrown. As Ryan Mallory has gone around in the 815 along with John Darby also involved in this one. So let's take a look back here and see what happened. Oh, Ferguson and Tyler Carter get a little bit of contact. That sends Darby up the racetrack and Mallory nowhere to go. Let's go on board with Darby. Oh, hard right there. That'll put us underneath the yellow flag every time there, folks. Hackney is your race leader. Now he's got Holt. Hackney, change of plans. He's going to go upstairs for this restart. Braswell down in Lassiter, making his way back towards the front. Holt, Lassiter, and Braswell, your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place drivers, all have victories to their name this season. Can Hackney hold on to this one? Green flag is up, and we are underway. Down in the corner, it'll be the 31 of Holt down to the inside, but Hackney going to work the outside with the momentum. He'll hold on to that race lead. Braswell down low. We've got him fanning out 3 and 4 wide deep here in the back. 3 wide down the front stretch. Luther will back out of it. It's Vickers now. He'll move it in forward. 8 tires turn better than 4, he says. He got into the left of the door panel of the 21 of Vandergrift. Everybody keeping it pointed in the right direction so far. As Keith Hackney still shows the way as we come back. Here it'll be 8 laps to go at the line. I won't lie to you folks, I thought maybe Hackney was going to be in trouble starting on the outside. But was not the case as he'll show off the turn number 4. Hackney, 7 laps to go. Justin Holt back here in spot number 2 as Braswell works the bottom of the racetrack. Those 2 are still battling it out for spot number 2, and Lassiter trying to figure out which lane to go with. Holt will rip the lip and north down the front stretch for turn number 1. Very, very patient on the throttle is the 18 of Braswell. You have to be to run it down that low. He'll give up that number 2 spot now. Holt has it 5 laps to go for the 969 of Hackney. Braswell and Holt still battling it out here in spot number 2. Lassiter. This allows Vickers to come into this. 4 cars are incomplete for 2nd. Everybody doing a great job working around the speedways. The 18 junior worked in the bottom of the racetrack with 4 to go, 3 to go at the line. Holt has it, but is it too late? 2 seconds behind your race leader of Hackney. Keith Hackney trying to find the way to victory lane to become our 4th different winner this season. He'll get the 2 to go sign. 2 laps to go for Hackney. They work down the backstretch for the off of turn number 4. White flag is out, presented by Autocraft Paint and Body Groups. Hackney showing the way as they work down the backstretch for the final time. Off of turn number 4, they will come. Hackney will become our 4th different winner in the All-Star Racing Series. Justin Holt going to drag race to the line. He'll finish second, Lassner third. Braswell fourth. Victor rounding out your top 5 unofficially. Everybody else battling for position back here in the field. But your race winner, the number 69H of Keith Hackney, going to victory lane. Everybody down here on the front stretch getting ready to go for our post-race show. And as they do that, we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You will just watch the All-Star Racing Series at Limaland.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Limaland Motorsports Park, where we just watched an exciting 50 laps of action for the All-Star Racing Series. And we are caught up with tonight's feature event winner, the driver of that 69H of Keith Hackney. And Keith, man, that car was on rails all night long. But talk us through this race here, the track changing quite a bit throughout this whole event.
During the heat races, you know, it got really slick, and I was sort of iffy on whenever they reset the track because they was talking about it and they wasn't going to do it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to put in my heavy set, and which was very good early on, and I got worried a little bit when it started moving to the top. I seen it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go up here and see if I can run it, and it's pretty much only choice I had. It was just so free up there. That was what I was telling them in the other channel, is that I was about quarter throttle around the top. I couldn't even get in it the way I wanted to, but hey, that's the thing around here. Just keep momentum and keep it off the wall and just keep it hammered down.
Yeah, talking about how difficult it is, we talked about early on in the heat races, that the cushion is pretty much is the wall, and if you don't get it just right, well, it's going to suck you into that wall and kill a lot of your momentum and possibly knock the suspension out from underneath you. How difficult is it to run the top here at Limaland for someone that hasn't experienced it yet?
Oh, if someone hasn't experienced it, oh yeah, it's difficult. I mean, you got to be real. I mean, actually up there, slower is faster. That may not make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but that is the case with that. And once you get in a rhythm, about 2 or 3 laps, you're pretty good. You know where you can go, where you can run. I had a little bit of difficulties going into one. I was catching the wall right before I got into one. It was pushing me up really, really bad. I did that probably about on 4 or 5 different occasions. But other than that, I tried to stay off the wall a little bit, and I started sliding up a little bit, and just catching that little brown next to the wall and just driving off. But other than that, man, you just gotta be patient up there. You can't overdrive it, because if you do, you're messing up bad.
Well, you come into tonight, we have had 3 different winners. You're going to add your name to the winning list here tonight, become the 4th different winner in weeks' time. What's that mean to you to come in here tonight and pick up the win at Limaland?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I've raced with a few of these guys in here, and I mean that's the reason why I decided to come over here. Actually, I just got out of Monsters of Dirt, the limited race. I won it, and I got over here at the last 2 or 3 minutes of practice. So it's always good to come to a new league and win. That's always a good feeling. So hopefully I'll be back next week. Maybe we can do it again.
Well, before we let you go here, Keith, who makes it all possible for you in this number 9 team here?
Man, I've got to give a special shout out to Team No Love. We got a lot of good people on our team. We're really converting back over to late models and stuff like that. Small Change Designs, Rage Designs, 1-3 Designs, Custom Cabinets by Keith, Rocket Racing Setups. Just everybody behind the scenes with that, man. We're really making some noise here lately. Blake and never putting this on you for broadcasting, buddy.
No problem here. Congratulations on the win. Tonight's feature event winner, the driver of the 69H. It is Keith Hackney. Moving down here as we move back down here, it'll be to the number 311 of Justin Holt. And Justin Holt is getting a word with his crew chief at the moment. Justin, get you over here to the front side of this race car. Man, you came from the 8th spot. But talk us through these battles here tonight. You had us on the edge of the seat. I think these guys that paid for a seat, I don't believe they used it here tonight at Limaland.
Oh, man, that was awesome. That was a good race. A lot of fun. There was quite a few yellows, but, I think front 10 or so, it was some pretty good racing. There was some contact, but nothing really intentional. So it was an awesome race.
Yeah, definitely not intentional. It's just the nature of the base. You come in here to the Limaland Motorsports Park, a little quarter mile of a racetrack, and well, we all know it's short track racing. There's going to be contact, especially on these restarts when you guys are crazy enough to go 4 and even 5 wide sometimes. How'd you guys make that even possible out there?
Luck, mostly, I would say. You just try to hold your line the best you can. A lot of these guys got a lot of respect. Some of them don't, but it's a pretty good group for the most part, so that has a lot to do with it. I know some of these guys are probably mad after this race because they got wrecked, but I mean, everybody has a bad night. So for the most part, though, most of these guys in this league show respect for each other.
Well, you come up through the field there. You had a great battle at the end with Lassiter, Braswell, and all those guys. What was that like out there as you guys were battling it out? For being on the podium here in these last few laps. You had Braswell working the inside. You were working both lanes out there for the most part, but how'd you get it done to come home in this number 2 position?
Most race, we just kind of moved around to where somebody wasn't, to try to pass somebody. You can't follow them and pass them. So there at the end, Jacob was definitely faster than me. I just was trying to hit my marks and stay off the damn wall. That's the hardest part. If it would move, I think it did right then because I hit it just about every lap. So, luckily Jacob's a real clean driver and he stayed off of me, and so was Braswell. He held his line on the bottom. That was a really good race.
Well, congratulations on your 2nd place finish here tonight. Before we let you roll on in the tech in the room of doom, who makes it all possible for you in this 31 team?
I just want to thank everybody, DTJ, Jacob, and Brandon. We've been working on these setups, getting better. Blake for putting this league on, y'all for broadcasting, and Milner Media and Design for the wrap.
Well, congratulations on your runner-up position here. We'll see you next week when we run. I'm not even sure where we're headed to next week. Let me take a look here. We're going to be headed to Lanier, one of my favorite racetracks, and you guys will put on a good show there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good race. See you then.
See you then. That's Justin Holt, your second place finisher here tonight at the Limaland Motorsports Park as we come back here to live pictures, and it'll lead us with our third and final driver down here on the theme. And well, he had his work cut out for him out there, ladies and gentlemen. This number 51 of Jacob Lassiter, he had the work cut out for him, and well, you're going to drive it back to a podium, which I was going to say at the beginning of that race didn't look quite possible.
Yeah, I kept getting some good restarts, and we kept getting cautions, and I just barely touched the front stretch wall, and it just screwed everything up. I dropped, I don't know, 5 or 6 spots, and then finally, because my car was kind of set up for the top, and I ran really good in that last heat race on the top, and I thought, man, if this thing just get a little bit slicker, it'll come in. And right there towards the end, it was really good. Guys were staying on the bottom, and then I kind of got benefited by Keith taking the outset on that restart. With him doing that, that enabled me to start right behind him, and that was a huge advantage. And I'm just glad that I didn't get into Justin there. We was kind of running that top, and I was afraid he was going to get to the wall and get in the back of him, and then we were going to have a teammate conversation after. And I was just trying to avoid that, and try to get a podium.
We saw the track change. The track crew coming out did a nice job turning it over, and you guys got some hot laps out there for this feature. And the track really slicked back off quick, like it usually does here at Limaland. How tricky is that to set up for? As you know, up front the track's going to have a lot of bite, and then you're going to lose that bite towards the end. How difficult is that to kind of make a setup where it's good on both, or make it one way or the other?
It's hard to. You can have a consistent car, but it may not be the fastest car, and sometimes that's usually what wins the races. Is just having a car that will click off consistent times. And man, at the start when it's so heavy, you're trying to set it up for the long run and trying to set it up for the slick track, and it gets tight going into one, especially on the starts, because the car ain't up on the bars just quite yet, getting in the corner, and it'll push on you. And I think that's just kind of part of it. Like I said, I think if we'd have had another maybe 25 laps. I don't think we'd have anything for Keith. He had a good car, and he's always fast everywhere he runs. But I think we could have pressured Justin a little bit more, and maybe got a slider in. But we was having to watch James on the bottom. He was doing a great job down on the bottom. I don't know how he was running that bottom line, because I didn't think there was anything down there, but he was making it work. So, but all in all, you try to set it up for the long haul, and maybe it'll come to you, and just try to keep it straight.
Well, you come home back-to-back podiums. You were in the number 2 spot last week. You're going to slide back to third, but overall going to be a good points night for you as we head out of Limaland and head to another short track down to the Lanier Raceplex in Georgia. How's that going to be next week for you and this race team?
We'll see, man. We're going to turn some laps. I haven't ran Lanier since the tire update, so I need to get on the ball and head down there and return some laps and see if we can get something set up, worked up. But Lanier's always a fun track, man. I hope it doesn't lock down. Sometimes it will, but I've seen that track come in real good on the top and bottom, so maybe we'll have a track crew will be on their game, and we'll have a good racetrack.
Well, there definitely will be a fun one next week when we go to the Lanier Raceplex. But before we let you head on out of here tonight, who makes it all possible for you in this 51 team?
I just got to thank Max Green. I got to thank Team DTJ and teammates Justin and Brandon in the race tonight. I think Brandon come home with a 7th place after getting mixed up in some stuff. He's just consistent everywhere he runs, and he's been getting faster. And Justin, I said last week, remember me telling you, I knew Justin would be tough. So, good run for him, finishing 2nd. Then I got to thank Charlie with the wrap on the car, Milner Media Designs. I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, man. Really enjoy watching it after, and just got to thank the wife for taking care of the little one, allowing me to do this, and that's about it, man. I appreciate it.
The unsung hero of us racers, the wife that they do a lot for us, don't they?
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on that third spot here tonight. We'll see you next week down at Lanier.
I appreciate it, man.
There you go. That's the driver, the number 51 out of Dresden, Tennessee, Jacob Lassiter. Going to roll off finish in third spot here tonight as he heads to Tech. And that'll put a wrap on tonight's racing. But before we go away, let's take a look through your full field rundown. Here tonight, we talked to your top three. Keith Hackney is your winner over Justin Holt and Jacob Lassiter. Rounding out your top three, James Braswell up inside the top three all race long, working the bottom. He got a lot of kudos from his racers out there, but he'll come up in that fourth spot. And Thomas Vickers rebounds for a fifth place. Sage Luther in spot number 6. Brandon Marlowe, car number 37, rebounds nicely after trouble towards the midway of this race. Kyle Vandergrift, Tyler Carter, and Jeff Helton rounding out your top 10. 11th spot will go to John Darby. Matt George will come home 12th. Michael Kennedy in spot number 13. Larry Townsend and Ryan Mowry rounding out the 15th spot. 16th will go to Sean Kostritza. Blake Brown with a little bit of issues. He'll come home in that 17th position, one lap to the arrears. Then these drivers all out early of tonight's feature event. James Ferguson, Jeremy Frey, Tyler Reed, and Nate Skinner. That will round out your running order. Next week we head to Lanier, one of the great short tracks here for the All-Star Racing Series, from Ohio down to Georgia. Next week here, we want to thank everybody for tuning on in for what was an exciting night of racing. I am Upstate Al, glad to bring you all your racing action here for the All-Star Racing Series. Until next week, keep it wheels down, and we'll see you at the races.